Hey guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2023, the album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy, AF. Hey little thing, let me light your candle, cause my mom's sure hard to handle now. Gets around. Blinded by the light. Had a douche and now I'm ready for my Saturday night. Boost! How are you guys doing today? You know, I just want to say, I am not sure that this video is wanting to get made because, first of all, the battery died. The first attempt, okay? The second attempt, I'm sitting out there and I got about halfway through this video and they started trimming trees out there and taking trees down, and it was so loud. I was like, is this for real? Like, I did not know they were trimming trees today, right? And then I was like, oh, well, yeah, we got that email a couple days ago that they were trimming trees today. So I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm going to bring this inside. I'm going to bring all my props up in here and things like that. I got my phone, okay? Got my reading glasses, got my coffee, got my fan. And I have lots to talk about today. So today we are going to talk about, listen, this is a highly requested video, okay? I mean, I got so many DMs of people asking me, Peter, please respond to Trisha Paytas coming out on her podcast and talking about the Colleen Ballinger defense article in Vanity Fair that was a hit piece on Adam Mcintyre. Okay, I don't know if they said it just like that, but that's what I'm saying, okay? But a lot of people were like, will you do a video talking about Trisha Paytas responding to this Vanity Fair article? And I was like, okay. Now, I had heard that Trisha Paytas had started this new podcast called Just Trish. It's not personal, it's just Trish, which I actually think is really cute, okay? And I hadn't watched the episode yet. In fact, I didn't realize that there were already 2 episodes out about it. So, this morning, I sat down and I watched both episodes of the podcast. Now, I want to make this very clear before I get into this video, okay? Well, first I want to give a caveat, and then I want to make an apology, because I need to make a huge apology in this video, okay? So, the first thing that I want to say is, this video is this is a Peter Monn video, okay? I know you're surprised, even though it says my name right down here. You think this is Judy Smith's channel, okay? Or you think this is Sally Jones' channel. Or you out there, okay, with the flower profile that hides behind that, and your username is something like X5J625 or something like that. You think this is your channel, you can come over here and tell me what to talk about on my channel, but it's not, okay? This is Peter Monn's channel. You go over there and you can start your own channel, okay? And you can talk about what you want to talk about on your channel, okay? But this is Peter Monn's channel, okay? And today on Peter's Monn, that's like Ruth's Chris. Today on Peter's Monn channel, okay, we're going to talk about, or I'm going to talk about, and y'all are going to listen, okay, because this is drama class, so I hope you have your Trapper Keepers and your number 2 pencils out, because there will be a test at the end of this, okay? And summer school is almost over, so if you don't pass this test, you're going to fail, and then you're going to have to be in Saturday school, okay? Now, I don't know if saying Saturday school is offensive to people that didn't make it through the regular year. I don't know, okay? I'm so worried to say anything in my videos anymore that might be kind of offensive, but we're going to get to that in just a second in my apology. Okay, so anyway, if Saturday school is offensive and you're not supposed to say Saturday school anymore, I deeply apologize. Okay, so anyway, Saturday school of drama class is almost over, okay? I know it's Friday, not Saturday, but summer school, okay? Summer school is almost over, but anyway, today's video on Peter Monn's channel is talking about Trisha Paytas' commentary on the Vanity Fair article, okay? And her talking about Adam Mcintyre, and her talking about an apology that Colleen Ballinger sent to her and things like that, okay? Which was really just a 10 to 15 minute clip at the end of the podcast, okay? This is not me coming out and talking about all the sins that Trisha Paytas has passed, okay? This is not me talking about how Trisha Paytas needs to be held accountable for all the sins of her past and all the wrongdoings of Trisha Paytas. I have done that in multiple videos, okay? But this video is not about that, okay? I've even said in recent videos that I think that this would be a very good time for Trisha Paytas to come out and do a dedicated video taking responsibility for her actions of her past, because people are saying that Trisha has grown and she has matured and she is being received with a different light right now. So if she were going to come out with that video, I feel like she has a very short time period to come out and do that video. But if she were to come out and do a dedicated video like that, right now would be the time. Now, I think the reason why Trisha doesn't want to do that is because she makes it very, very clear in both of these podcasts and previous videos and things like that, that she doesn't want to stay, or she doesn't want to be in the middle of drama anymore, okay? Which is why she got in her podcast and talked about Colleen Ballinger. But listen, I think she should, okay? And I think that what she had to say was excellent. Before we even get into this video, I think that she made some very clear points in her podcast, okay? And sided with Adam Mcintyre. And we're going to talk about that she emailed Adam Mcintyre and he publicly thanked her for an email and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, we're going to get to that in just a second. But I have said that, okay? In multiple videos, I have talked about holding Trisha Paytas accountable and all that kind of stuff. That's not what this video is about today, okay? This video is talking about Trisha Paytas' commentary in her podcast on the Vanity Fair article. So listen, okay, out there, flower picture 5425624, okay? I don't need the comments saying, well, Trisha Paytas, you give her a free pass, you didn't hold her accountable. Listen, I don't need that, okay? I don't need to be tagged. I'm trying to get back to the Twitter, okay, of just retweeting countdown to Christmas and countdown to Halloween. I don't need to be tagged in a bunch of crap, okay, about how I gave Trisha Paytas a free pass and I didn't hold her accountable for all the sins of her past, okay? I've done that, all right? So you can go reference those 422 videos. This video is not about that today, okay? Now, you can go watch Sally Jones' video. Maybe her video is about that, okay? Or Judy Smith's video. Maybe you go watch their videos. Maybe their videos are about that. But today on Peter Monn's video, we're just going to talk about Trisha Paytas and her co-host Oscar talking about the Colleen Ballinger defense piece, hit piece on Adam Mcintyre in the Vanity Fair, okay, by renowned journalist Andrew Quintana, Glamour Shots. Okay, we're going to talk about that today. So, I just want to make that clear. Now, the second thing I want to say, and this is an apology, okay, was that in my video yesterday, I was talking about people that don't like when I make commentary on their favorite YouTubers, okay? And that they take issue with me talking about, you know, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, Trisha Paytas, you know, James Charles, Colleen Ballinger, whoever, right? And I made some kind of like flippant joke, and I said something to the effect of, I hope you got your depends on so you don't shit yourself. I thought it was funny. Apparently it's not, okay? Now, I got one DM. I got one DM from somebody, okay, that has watched me for a while, and they said that this was deeply cruel, okay? That it was very, very cruel that I came out, that there are actually people, if I wasn't aware of this, that have to wear Depends, okay? And they let me know who the people were that have to wear Depends. Now, I'm a 51-year-old grown man, okay? I think I'm fully aware that there are people out there that have to wear Depends, okay? I'm not stupid, okay? But apparently, it's a very cruel and offensive joke. So, I want to make an apology to the Depends community. I shouldn't have made that joke. And I want to deeply apologize to the entire community of people out there that have to wear Depends on a daily basis. I am sorry that you did not find my joke funny, okay? What I should have said instead was, I hope that you have your Lysol and your paper towels so that you can clean up your shitty mess when you shit yourself because you can't handle what I say in my videos, okay? That's what I should have said. I should have made a joke about the Depends, okay? That was not a funny joke. That was a cruel joke, okay? Saying that somebody should have their Depends on, okay? Now, listen. So, first of all, I want to apologize to the Depends community, but I also want to apologize to the shitting yourself community, okay? However it is you shit yourself, whether it's you shit yourself because you don't like when I talk about somebody in one of my videos, or if it's you shit yourself because you just don't make it to the toilet in time. I think we've all had those moments before that we wish we had Depends, okay, but we didn't, okay? And if you depend on Depends, hey, listen, like I said, I apologize to you, okay? But I do want to apologize to the shitting yourself community as well, okay? For those of you out there that have the booze poos, now I don't drink no more, okay? So I haven't had the booze poos, and I'm not going to say that I ever did. But I might have back in the day had the booze poos, okay? But listen, I don't no more, okay? Because I don't drink. When you drink, you get the booze poos. Those are probably the mornings that you wish that you had Depends, okay? But I don't want to make no more jokes about Depends because that's cruel, okay? But you might want to keep some around, I'm just saying, in case you're a heavy drinker and you get the booze poos, okay? Can I not joke about people being heavy drinkers either? Okay, as a person in recovery, can I not make that joke? Okay. Well, anyway, so I just want to clear that up, okay? So I want to apologize to the Depends community. I want to apologize to the Shitting Yourself community. I want to apologize before this joke falls poorly again. I want to apologize to the Booze Poos community. I want to apologize to those of you that don't make it to the toilet in time. I want to apologize to the Lysol and the paper towel community, okay? Let's all just keep it regular. You know, let's just keep it regular. Let's just poop how we're supposed to, okay? Like, and I feel sorry, but I really do. I feel bad if I offended anybody with my joke out there. And I'm sure I lost at least one audience member from me addressing this in my video today. And you know what? That's okay, okay? Because it was a joke, okay? And it was a funny joke. And you need to put your big girl panties on for that, okay? Or your Depends. I don't know. But like I said, I apologize to the Depends community. I do, okay? People are either going to love this or I'm going to be canceled for this. If I get canceled over a Depends joke, then you know what? I think it's worth it. So anyway, if I get canceled over a Shitting Yourself joke or a Booze Poos joke, then you know what? There are worse things in the world to get canceled over, okay? I mean, that might be the out I might take, okay? So anyway, but it is what it is. But I wanted to come out and I wanted to make my deep, sincerest, most genuine apology to the Depends community, to the Shitting Yourself community, to the Booze Poos community, to the Lysol paper towels community, and just to those of you that just don't make it to the toilet in time. You think you have to fart, but you don't. You actually shit yourself, okay? So, for those of you out there. And don't act like you haven't done it either, okay? Don't act like in those moments you don't wish that you had some Depends. And Depends, if you want to sponsor a video on my channel, feel free. I have made an apology to the entire Depends community, of which I didn't even realize there was one, okay? Woo! So now let's get to this video. People are either going to, like I said, people are either going to think this is real funny or I'm going to be completely canceled for making a Shitting Yourself joke, okay? And like I said, if I get canceled for that, well, you know what? It's kind of worth it. So anyway, if you have to go out, first of all, I'll put $5 in the cuss jar for all that. But if you have to go out, okay, in a cancellation, I'd much rather go out on a Booze Poos Shitting Yourself joke, okay, than what all these rest of these schools get canceled for. Okay. Woo! I need some coffee. It's so hot in here after all them shitting jokes. Okay. So let's get into Trisha Paytas and her new podcast, Just Trish. It's not personal, it's just Trish. I think that's kind of cute, don't you? So in it, if I didn't explain this already, because I've made this video now 3 times, I don't remember what I said. Oscar says that he came up with the idea, it's not personal, it's just Trish. And she's like, oh, I like that. And I think it's really cute. I actually think they should have some sound over at the beginning of it where they go, it's not personal, it's just Trish. And if you want to use that, Trisha, feel free. Okay. So anyway, I watched both of these podcasts back to back. Like I said, it's Trisha and he's kind of like her co-host, whatever. Like I said, I do not know about this person, okay? I don't know much about Oscar. Apparently, she met him years ago at like a Joey Graceffa Christmas party. And he was like the assistant to Joey Graceffa or something at the time, or an intern to Joey Graceffa. I don't really understand. They kind of get into it a little bit. He also like interviewed to work for Mr. Beast for a while. Apparently, he says in there he has like a background in journalism. I don't really know anything about this guy. I didn't look into him. I did not do my research for this video to look into this guy. He seems very nice, okay? If he's hugely problematic, I am unaware of that, okay? So I'm not defending him if he is hugely problematic. I'm just telling you from watching 2 podcasts, he seems very nice, okay? He seems very aware of what's going on in pop culture. He corrects Trisha from time to time about things. And I think he's a good match for her in this podcast. I actually think he's a really good co-host. And I think it's also good that she's not using somebody that is equal amount of like fame of hers on YouTube or something like that, or bigger than her or whatever, right? It's just Trish. And then she has this co-host. Now, she has said in there that she's going to have guests on there. She references somebody that they keep on tagging in TikTok. I will say Moses is a part of this podcast as well. Now, I'm just giving my objective view, okay, on this podcast and what I thought. Moses is kind of a part, I mean, you don't really see much of him, but, like, you can hear him in the background, like, she says stuff to him and he speaks back to her. I will say this, and this is, like, one of those moments where I'm like, we don't need to know about all the sins of the past of Moses, okay? And all this kind of stuff. In this element, he seems to really care about Trisha a lot. And you can tell that Trisha's very excited about doing this podcast. And she's all glammed up and all this kind of stuff, right? Okay. So I go in and I watch both these podcasts. Now, my objective point of view, all right, on these podcasts is that it's a smart move for Trisha. And it's very, very cute, okay? It's Trisha and she has this, like, pink and white back wall, this like fuzzy back wall. I have to tell you, it's kind of reminiscent to me a little bit of the Frenemies, you know, all that kind of stuff, but because it was like black and pink, but it's whatever. The podcast is cute. She has a big pink chair. She talks about how, like, Wendy Williams, she wanted to be like Wendy Williams and all this kind of stuff. So, the first podcast, they go in there. The second podcast, they talk about, like, Doja Cat. The first one, I think they talk about Ariana Grande. I don't even remember. They kind of, like, all spill it together to me. I watch them literally back to back. So, at the very end, she says something like, I mean, she kind of, like, makes jokes of her, or like makes jokes of herself. Like, she says in there something about, like, he says something about how well this podcast is going to do, or I can't remember how he says it, but she says, yeah, I hope I don't lose money on this podcast, basically meaning that she's lost money, like, you know, on these other podcasts and whatever. Well, like I said, we're going to talk about the sins of the past, but, you know, Ethan Klein might have lost some money on that podcast as well, just saying. Okay, so anyway, so they get to the part where they talk about Colleen Ballinger in the article, and he brings it up. And it's interesting because when I first saw this come up, before I had watched the podcast, my immediate response to this was, I thought Trisha said she wasn't going to talk about the Colleen Ballinger thing anymore, that she was going to talk about this once in her video, and then she wasn't going to talk about it anymore. Now, I will tell you, I feel like it's Trisha's channel and she can talk about whatever she wants to talk about. I actually, after watching her respond to this, my stance kind of changed about that. And I was kind of like, I think, not that she can't come out and talk about what she wants to do, but that I was surprised that not that I was surprised, I mean, that she said she wasn't going to talk about it again, and then she did. My stance kind of like moved a little bit, and I was kind of like, I think it's important that Trisha does talk about this. You know, not that she has to dedicate every video to it, but when it comes up, if she wants to talk about it, I think she has every right to do that. You know, even though she got in this video and said, I'm not going to speak of Colleen again. And then she does in this video, talking about the article, which she said she hasn't read. So he's kind of filling her in on the article. What is different, okay, about her stance in this, so he goes through and he reads her pieces of the article, and I mean, it was interesting because in my video that I did the other day, where Andrew Quintana referred to Adam McIntyre as a whistleblower, I said that that word seems to have a negative connotation, and I even in a follow-up video explained how there are a lot of people that, because people were like, oh, I see that as a hero, I see whistleblowers as heroes, right? Well, whistleblowers are sometimes people that lose jobs, that are scrutinized politically, that even though they are doing heroic deeds, okay, and they are standing up for what is right, they are sometimes not necessarily seen in a positive light. That term sometimes has a negative connotation to it. It was interesting when he read it to her, okay, and used that word. Trisha was kind of like, oh, like he used that word whistleblower, right? Okay, and she even makes a comment about it. So then he talks about, and I'm getting this all out of order, okay? But she talks about, or he brings up the fact, she says, does she mention me or something? Does he mention me in there? And he goes, well, he mentions a sex worker. And so he reads her the part about where Andrew Quintana says a sex worker allegedly sent these. And she's like, allegedly? She's like, allegedly? Okay, and she's like, and he goes, and she said, he names Adam McIntyre and Colleen, but he can't name me. Like, he just says I'm a sex worker, which I am, but, like, you can't name me. And she said something to the effect of, and maybe I got it wrong, but, like, Adam McIntyre, like, for who he is, and, like, I have, like, a bigger platform, like, why wouldn't he mention my name? Which is what I said in my video, you know? Like, and I was kind of worried when I watched it back when I made my video the other day, because I thought people would think that I was saying that there was something wrong about sex work, which I think if you watch my videos, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, okay? Like, do you get your coin if you're a consensual adult, okay? But what I was saying was that in that article, it seemed to me that he was reducing Trisha Paytas and all of the years of her being on YouTube and things like that as nothing, and music videos and songs that she's put out and whatever, okay? As nothing more than that, right? Okay. Well, you didn't reduce Colleen Ballinger to just being an alleged perpetrator. So to just put that on Trisha, which was interesting because Trisha had a very similar stance. So then it goes in and she's talking about whatever. Now, what was interesting about this commentary from Trisha was that Trisha Paytas really sides with Adam McIntyre. Now, in previous videos where she's talked about it, I think 2 videos that she's talked about it, she doesn't really say Adam's name. In this video, she says Adam's name, okay? A lot. And she said in there, you know, like, Adam said I had him blocked, and I had him blocked for another reason, blah, 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 whatever. But, like, when a minor comes out with these allegations, she basically completely stands with all the victims, okay? She makes that very, very clear. So before, where Trisha was scrutinized for kind of making it about herself or her own experience, and people were like, well, Trisha is a victim of this too, and whatever, which I'm not saying isn't true, okay? But where she was making it, like, telling her side of the story or talking about herself, this time she really focuses a lot on Adam Mcintyre and the other victims, okay? And their stories. She also goes in there and she says, and I want to make this very clear for those of you that haven't seen my other videos, okay? I 100% believe that Trisha Paytas is a victim of Colleen Ballinger, okay? So however I just said that thing back there, okay, because I don't edit my videos, okay? I 100% believe that Trisha Paytas is a victim of Colleen Ballinger. Now, I'm not going to talk about Trisha Paytas' past. Like I said, that's not what this video is about. I'm just talking about Trisha Paytas in this situation, okay? So then she goes in and they talk about the verification of Colleen Ballinger. That he makes some comment in the article. I've read the article so many times by now, I can't believe I can't quote it. But he makes some comment in the article about there not being verification. And Trisha's like, and there were a lot of people in the comments I was interested, that I saw underneath Trisha's podcast, that were saying that these were tweets that Colleen Ballinger sent of marketing of Trisha Paytas' OnlyFans. Okay, Trisha Paytas comes out in the I don't know which podcast you watched, okay? But the podcast that I watched, Trisha Paytas comes out and says that after she made her video addressing it, Colleen Ballinger texted her and apologized for sending the nudes, okay? Not Trisha's marketing on Twitter of her OnlyFans, but sent her nudes to these people. Colleen Ballinger, to Trisha Paytas, apologizes and takes accountability. Now, it's amazing to me that Colleen Ballinger can take accountability to Trisha Paytas and apologize, but she can't take accountability to Adam Mcintyre, Johnny, Becky, Oliver, any of these other numerous victims out there, but she can apologize to Trisha Paytas. I wonder why that might be, okay? Is it because she's worried that Trisha Paytas, whenever Trisha Paytas does talk about things that are going on online that affect her, that she gets a lot of traction and that people are going to listen to her, and that she knows that people are going to listen to what Trisha Paytas has to say, being that she just was in a podcast with Colleen Ballinger? So this was a Colleen Ballinger cover my ass kind of moment, okay? Well, listen, I ain't gonna make no depends joke, okay? But like I said, you might need to get some Lysol, Colleen, okay? To clean up your shitty mess, okay? I'm just saying, you need a lot more than that. Trisha even comes out and says that she needs to come out and make an appropriate response video. She says that in there, right? And she says in there that, like, you know, she texted her and all this kind of stuff and whatever. Trisha goes in there to say, you know, that there was nothing right about what happened. She speaks, and like I said, the clip is only about, I think it's about 15 minutes. It's the very last part of the podcast. But she really sides with the victims a lot. She talks a lot about Adam Mcintyre in there. And she explains in there, which she didn't have to do, about why she had him blocked, and it was because of something previous. She even explains in there what it was that she had him blocked for, I believe. And she talks in there about, like, she doesn't have any issues with Adam Mcintyre, and it was over past drama that he had talked about. And she's like, you know, I know that, like, you know, he's made a lot of videos where he says stuff about me, and, like, that's what he does, and that's what drama commentary channels do, and they don't have to like me, and blah, 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 whatever. Which, you know, like, here's the thing. Like, Trisha Paytas gets the whole thing with drama commentary, okay? When Trisha was really big into wanting to get views off of drama commentary channels, she befriended, myself included, because we were doing her a service. Because we were talking about things and pumping up her views. Now that she doesn't want to be in the drama anymore, she has distanced herself from drama commentary channels, okay? And I get that, right? Like, I understand that. But that's kind of what she says in there, is like, I understand why they do what they do. She's always said that. She understands why we do what we do, okay? She doesn't necessarily like it, but she gets it. So then I noticed that Adam Mcintyre, right after I watched this, he had put out this tweet. Hold on a second. He had put out this tweet, and it said, "Thank you, Trisha Paytas, for your incredibly kind and validating email." When Adam has said that he has been emailing Trisha Paytas for a while now and trying to let her know about Colleen Ballinger and that she had him blocked so he couldn't contact her other ways. So it seems like maybe there's some kind of, like, you know, amends making process going on behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff, which I think is really nice. I think it's nice that Trisha reached out to Adam, you know. You know, there were a lot of people that were speculating whether or not Trisha was going to, hold on a second, I have some of the screenshot, I thought I did, that Trisha was going to sue Colleen Ballinger over this. And it was interesting when you read the comments underneath here, The first comment on the podcast is, I think we know what we all know why we're gathered here today. Somebody said Trisha's solo podcast is so much better than Colleen's ridiculous BS. Somebody said, Trish, please release the evidence of Colleen apologizing to you and admitting she committed a federal crime for you, for children's safety, the victims, and their families. I promise you it is the right thing to do, and we will stand by you for it. If people do not keep talking about this and stepping up, all of this will just dissipate and people will move on. This is what Colleen wants, and I 100% agree with this. I don't know that I think it's Trisha's sole responsibility to take this on. She cannot get away with this scot-free. Give closure to you and all the victims in this now. Claim justice for the victims and ensure that Colleen is held accountable for these sickening crimes and behaviors. Colleen does not deserve a platform. Thank you for speaking up, Trish. And there's 750 likes on this comment. And it goes on to talk about, I mean, a lot of people in here are saying that this person's being way too dramatic. These are Colleen Ballinger sympathizers, obviously. You can tell. I mean, you can tell a Colleen Ballinger sympathizer from a mile away, okay? You need some Lysol, okay? Just saying. Somebody says in here, Oscar is an amazing co-host for Trisha. He's really good at transitioning topics smoothly, which he is. And Trisha talks in there about one of the reasons why she doesn't want to talk about this a lot is because this is very triggering for her. And she goes in and kind of even explains this more in depth than she has in previous videos. And this person says it's very triggering and it's so unfair for Colleen to put Trisha and all of her other victims in this position. Somebody said the fact that she apologized to Trish and still won't apologize to Adam. Somebody said, Trisha, please sue Colleen for sharing your private news with minors. It's probably the only way she will be held accountable for anything. You are the only one who can sue her. And this response has 2,000 likes on it. I think this is the most liked comment on her video. And somebody said, it's hard though because you need proof. It could all be hearsay in the court and she could lose. And all these people are like, what proof? Like, she came out in a text message with Trisha Paytas and apologized for it. There's screenshots that Johnny and these other people have put up. I believe Adam Mcintyre is looking through receipts because he knows that he has these receipts as well. Other people have said that they have the receipts, right? Okay. And, all these people are talking about how much money it is and that for Trisha it would be this like time-consuming thing, which I understand that, right? And maybe that's not the pursuit that she wants to take, you know? But I think it's something that she needs to think about, and I'm not entirely sure that's not happening behind the scenes, you know? Maybe that's why Trisha Paytas emailed Adam Mcintyre. Maybe they're getting, you know, their stories together behind the scenes and you know, aligning and saying, hey, maybe we need to move forward with all of this. You know what I'm saying? Could be. So it goes on, all these people say, all this stuff in defense of Trisha and talking about, most of the people in here are just like loving this, this podcast. And people are talking about how well-spoken she is in this episode, and you can tell that you've been working on yourself so hard, and you're clearly trying so hard to be respectful and level-headed. It's a really impressive example to others. I'm super proud of you. And, you know, this is why I say this would be an opportune time for her to come out and talk about the past allegations, not because she has to, okay? It would be a good time for her to do that, because these are the kind of comments that she's getting, right? And people are seeing growth and change in Trisha right now. Like when she was on Frenemies, people were seeing growth and change in Trisha, okay? And so if she comes out now and does that, it's going to be well received. And then Trisha can move on from all of that, right? And then she can say to anybody that ever wants to come out and say anything, she can say, I've addressed it. You know, I've taken full responsibility for it. And she doesn't have to go into all the details. She could literally just get in a video and read through all the communities and all the things that she's offended and talk about it. You know, I think it would be a really smart move for Trisha right now. And I think that people are really, I mean, I think people are rooting for Trisha. I think people are wanting the best for Trisha. I think people are wanting to see a more grown, mature Trisha. And, you know, and I think they're wanting to see Trisha grow and change as a person. There's always going to be those people out there that are not going to want that for somebody, but I think the majority of the people that have been fans of Trisha's for many, many years. And Trisha, I think, is fully aware of that, right? But I think until she does come out and do that, I think that there's going to be a certain sect of people out there that are going to be like, I don't know that I can continue to follow her. But I like her new podcast. I think it's a smart move for her. And I don't think that she needs to shy away from talking about this. I understand that it's completely triggering for her. But I think that her stance in this podcast you know, explicitly talking about Adam and the other victims and siding with them and saying that nothing that happened was right, and also sharing information about Colleen, apologizing to her and coming out and talking about it, I think was very pertinent and very important that she came out and addressed this. So anyway, I thought how she handled it was very correct. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys. Not sponsored, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.